Hello boys and girls, welcome to BenchART, I'm Ford Classic, and welcome to Crash Bandicoot 4, a game developed by Toys for Bob and Beanox and ported over to the PC thanks to the ArtSuits Labs. So this game it is running on Unreal Engine 4, and my task for this video it is to check how this game performs on my GTX 1650 Super. So my recommended settings for this game it is to play at 1080p with absolutely maximum settings, which in case of this game it is the Insane. Curiously enough, this anti-aliasing setting, since it has numbers like 2 times, 4 times, 8 times, I was expecting this to be multi-sampling anti-aliasing, but no, it's just simply temporal anti-aliasing and barely affects the performance. So taking a look on the recommended requirements of this game, these guys recommend a Ryzen 5 from the first generation, 6 gigs of RAM and a GTX 970. So our 1650 Super, it just plays very well. So I did try it with the benchmark section of the game, which is merely just gameplay, and I had an average of 111 frames per second and a minimum of 95. So for that reason I also decided to try the game at 1440p, but unfortunately, and also the different settings of the game, they don't really affect that much the performance. So as you can see, the difference, for example, between maximum settings and median settings, it is just 4 frames per second on both averages and 1% low. So there is barely any difference regarding the performance difference between each presets. Of course, I didn't try the low settings, but I believe that the low settings have a higher difference than, for example, from maximum to median settings. So bottom of the line, if you are going to play at 1080p, you can have an excellent experience fully above 60 frames per second, and at 1440p, for example, if you do play at median settings, you can expect that your performance will be overall above 60 frames per second, but unfortunately it won't be always above 60. There will be more demanding moments where the game will drop here and there and might be distracting. So for that same reason, I do prefer to play at 1080p instead, which grants me a full 60 frames per second with no drops. But like I told you, this was on the benchmark section of the game, which is exactly what I'm playing in here, but the difference is this specific mission that I'm playing at the moment contains a cutscene, which on the benchmark area it doesn't exist. Cutscenes on this game are considerably much more demanding than the gameplay moments. I know that this for the most... I think for the most people it doesn't really matter because cutscenes aren't really playable moments, so people usually don't care about the frame rates that they do get on cutscenes. But in my opinion, if I can have also 60 frames per second during those cutscenes, then the better. And that's again another reason why I decided to stick up with 1080p, because as you can see on this recording, the cutscene, if you look at the frame rate at the moment, as soon as we have this pan view, the frame rate goes down to 75 frames per second while recording, while the rest of the gameplay, it just plays above 95 or 100 frames per second. So it's a huge difference in performance between cutscenes and gameplay. So this cutscene at 1440p, it will drop heavily below 60 frames per second, while on 1080p, it just stays above 60. Alright, so that's all about the performance. As for the gameplay itself, what can I say? It's Crash Bandicoot, like it always was. There is nothing different about it, apart from being more revamped, better animations. Everything is simply better, but it still retains what made the classic so special. So very, very good job from the developer team to keep up with the same vibe as the classic games. So this is awesome stuff, and the Metascore, the Metacritic score really and clearly shows that people are, critics did enjoy the game because the score it is very close to 90. So unfortunately there are some things that doesn't make sense on the PC version. First of all, the anti-piracy method that they are using. So first of all, this game it is an exclusive to the Battle.net store, which is the store that you need to have if you want to play, for example, Call of Duty Warzone. So it's an exclusive to that specific store, which means that you can't buy this game for Steam or even Epic Games. Alright, it's an exclusive to Battle.net. It might put some people off because of that. And second thing, it isn't really expensive, it costs $39.99, so I think it's yeah, it's a respectable price in my opinion. So I'm not going to argue about the price because it seems fine. I have seen worse case of many other games that weren't really that great and cost more. So $39.99, it is not expensive for the game that it is. But unfortunately the PC version requires you to be always online to play this game. And it's not because this game have online features on anything like it. No, it's because of the anti-piracy methods that they are using it. So I wouldn't be entirely pissed off if these things would simply work, but what really pisses me off is that this game requires you to be online in order to play this game, and the game it is also available out there on piracy boats, if you know what I mean. So these specific piracy methods, which forces you to play online, you that did pay $39.99 for this game, it just didn't work out because the game is just out there, available to anyone that wants to play the game. So, which is disappointing. In my opinion, I think that Activision, Binox, or Artsuit Labs, or whatever, should simply disable this anti-piracy method, since it's just simply, it isn't working. People are playing this game for free at the moment, and they don't need to be online. So why the hell you that pay for this game need to be online in order to play this game? So please, Artsuit Labs, remove that crap, because it is simply not working, and you are pissing people off that did pay for the game. So apart from that, there's nothing that I can say more about the game. It's Crash Bandicoot, so if you did enjoy the predecessors, I'm pretty sure you're going to love this one, and that's what I have to say about it. So guys, I think that's all. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the gameplay, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.